For those of you who don't know, here in Brookhaven, there are actually a lot of cars. We have this car that is really old, and on the right, there are also several interesting cars. But today, I want to see with you what a Brookhaven car update would look like. But I'm going to make the update myself, adding new cars using Roblox Studio, where I can change whatever I want on the map, removing things, and also adding new cars to the game. So for that, I called my friend, but it looks like he's relaxing at the beach, and now he's finally coming back. He just jumped the fence, and now he's here. He said, "Let's go. I want you to add a Camaro." So I'm going to add that. But first, I have to place a parking lot on the map. But first, I'm going to get my car, and I want my friend to help me decide where the parking lot will be, because here in the city, there are many interesting places. He said, put it in a place far from the city, and also at a racetrack. And what he said is really interesting, and it's a genius idea. So I'm arriving up front to do exactly what he asked. Maybe this place will be really interesting. I'm going to have to remove this whole horse stable and place a giant parking lot. Besides the parking lot, I'm also going to add a racetrack up front, because we have the perfect space to do that, especially since there's a lot of room here. So I'm going to do exactly what he wants. But he said, also add a Camaro, please. And guys, he really wants me to add a Camaro. It's his dream. So I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to add a Camaro to my game so my friend stops asking for it, especially because it's starting to get annoying. But now, I have to remove this entire building, so I'm removing everything. And I just removed everything. But before that, the horse stable looked like this. And now it looks exactly like this. And you can really tell that there's nothing here. It's like there's absolutely nothing, which is really strange, because someone comes from this road and just doesn't find the horse stable. But I'm going to place a giant parking lot here. So I picked exactly this one, and this one looks really nice. So I'm going to place it right here, but I'll have to adjust it to make it perfect. But it looks like this is broken. Literally, the whole parking lot just collapsed. And I really don't know why that happened, but everything here was destroyed. But my friend is looking over here, and he said, you don't even know how to build. But that's not a problem, because I just fixed it. And you can see the parking lot is perfect. It's not falling down like before. And there are even secret buttons here. So I'm coming over to see what these buttons do. And I just got here, but these buttons don't do anything, which is pretty weird. But you can see there are several floors, and up here I want to place something special. I just grabbed this ramp, and I'm going to leave it right here, so that people go flying, and someone's going to grab the car and go flying here, and I'm sure that person is going to be my friend. And again he said, add a Camaro. But guys, he got down on his knees, and he's really begging me to add a Camaro here in Brookhaven. So I'm finally going to place this car, because he's asking way too much. Perfect, I just got this car, and I'm going to leave it right back here. And now, I'm going to drive it just to see what's going to happen. And this car is really beautiful, and my friend is really happy because I finally added this car. But he came back in this car, and I'm going to have to drive it because I need to check more locations on the map that I'm going to change. So I just changed from that barn, and now we have this parking lot. But I'm going to drive this car because I want to jump that ramp. But this car is really slow, and I just jumped here, and that was kind of weird. But the car finally went back to normal, and it looks like the steering wheel moves, and that's amazing. It's really the best car in all of Brookhaven. But you can see there are some buttons here on the side that unfortunately don't work. But now I'm testing the top speed because I want to see the maximum speed this car can reach, and apparently this is the limit, especially because I just flipped my car. But guys, the Camaro just flipped over, but now I want to get more cars. And the next car I'm going to get is really similar to this one. So I just grabbed the Mustang, but it looks like it's lowered. So I removed it and picked this other one, because this one is way better. And I'm going to leave it parked up here. The Camaro I'll leave right here, because I want to place as many cars as possible in this Brookhaven parking lot. He said, hey, there's a bug in the parking lot, fix it. So okay, I'm going to fix that bug, but I'm going to let my friend drive this car so he can do the things he wants to do. But now he's coming up from the front, and I really don't know what he wants to do. But he almost hit my car, and actually he just flipped it over. But I think the bug he's talking about is this one, and these blocks are showing up because of some glitch. Perfect, I just fixed it, and now it's really perfect. But I'm coming here to drive this car because I want to see if it's good. So now I'm driving it, and it really is pretty fast. But I'm going to try drifting in this parking lot to see if it actually works. So I'm coming up front, and it's really hard to drive this. I'm trying to drift, but it's really hard. Actually, I think it's impossible. But my friend is coming to this house, and the house owner just came out, and he's really mad. He said, don't step on my house. And it looks like he's really mad at my friend because he's on the player's property. But my friend finally left, and that player is really weird. He's just super angry at us. And now he finally left. He said, what a weird guy. And that's true. But now he got up here, and he's building a wall between his house and the city street. And he's really making that wall just because of my friend, because my friend kept bothering him until he built it. And now he finally went back into his house. And this wall is really weird. But my friend is coming back here, and he's probably going to bother that player again in Roblox. He's even behind the fence, and suddenly started dancing like that, and that player just came out again, and he's really mad. But there's not much he can do, because my friend isn't actually inside his house. And he has a really strange motorcycle that basically has a weapon on top. So my friend has to be careful with that. I said, don't go inside the house, okay? And he has to understand that, because it's really important. And apparently, he got the message, and just went back there to dance. And this friend of mine is acting really weird. He's he's just bothering that player for no reason. But now, I want this car to go down here, but it's going to be really hard because I have to pass by the Camaro, and it actually worked. But now, I'm going to have to drive this properly. So I'm going down carefully, especially because this car is really important, and I can't crash it. But I'm coming here, and my car got stuck, and I can't get out no matter what. So I'm coming up front, and I learned how to drift, which is really good. But now, I have to get out of here, and I need to figure out a way to leave this parking lot. Perfect, I finally made it, and now I'm getting close to the first floor, but I haven't reached it yet because I'm on the second floor, and actually, I'm on the third floor. But I'm getting to this part, and I'm going down to the second floor, and now finally going down to the first floor. Perfect, now I'll be able to get out of here after a lot of trouble, but I'm realizing it would have been way easier to just use that ramp because I could have just jumped with it and wouldn't have had to go all the way down. But now, I'm coming up front drifting, and this car is really perfect because it works super well. So I'm going full speed, and I crashed my car, but I'm coming back again because I want to test this car's top speed. But my friend is jumping in and out at the same time, and I'm sure that player must be really mad because there's nothing he can do. But now, he just grabbed that motorcycle, and that's really bad because if my friend goes inside, he's going to activate that weapon, and that will be the end of my friend. So it's better for him to come back here to avoid trouble. And now he's coming over here, and that was really weird. And now that player is leaving, and apparently he's going down, and he's going down here probably to visit the market. And while he's going to the market, my friend is coming back here again, but this time I don't know what he's going to do. And you can see he just grabbed this item and started spraying graffiti on his house. And that's really weird because he just did it out of nowhere. But he got back in the car and is simply coming up front because he wants to see everyone's reaction in the house when they realize it has those drawings. And I also want to see his reaction. But now, I want to test this car's top speed, and I also have to make the racetrack. But suddenly the car started flying, and I don't know why that's happening. But now I'm coming up front, and this car is really fast, but it's super hard to control. He said, add a Dodge Challenger. Okay, I'm going to add that car, especially because it's going to be really important. But first, I have to remove all of this to make the racetrack. And I'm also going to remove this house, add dirt in this part, and also remove these 2 trees, this item, and finally this scarecrow. And the land is completely empty. But I'm going to have to remove more stuff. So I'll remove the roads, and now this place is empty, and I can make a giant racetrack here in Roblox. But I removed this mountain, and I don't know how I removed it, but now it's back to normal. So I just got this racetrack, and it's absolutely massive. The race will start right here, and it ends right at this part. And you can see there's a huge tunnel. So I'm going to have to place that. He said he hasn't come back yet. Look, that's actually great because now I'm going to be able to build my giant racetrack. But first, I need to move this far away, and I'll leave it right here, but I'll need to fix it, especially because it's floating. So I'll place it right here on the ground. Perfect, I finished it, and apparently it's perfect. I just placed it in this spot, and you can tell it really looks like a Brookhaven build, and the front part looks a bit ugly, so I'll fix that later and remove these trees. But first, I want to test this race to see if it's working. But guys, I'm going to have to get in this car, and now I'm going to have to speed up here in front as much as possible, and then I want to invite my friends to simply test this game. But I just crashed into an invisible wall that's here in the middle of nowhere. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to remove this item and also these 2. Now I'm going to try to drive my car to see if it works. So I'm going as fast as I can, and I'm going to race against the best cars of all. But guys, this car is almost crashing, but now I'm finally going to be able to finish the race. Perfect, I finished it, and again I hit an invisible wall. My friend said, look, he's coming back, and it looks like that player is coming back after a long time in Roblox. And you can see he's arriving up front, and that motorcycle of his is really weird because it has a giant weapon that he's carrying around the city, but he just noticed there's graffiti here, and he can't believe it. But now he's erasing it, especially because he doesn't want the graffiti there. And now he finally removed it, and he basically became a private security guard for his own house, and he won't allow anyone to come here and mess up his house. But guys, I think it's time for him to finally stop bothering the player. But he came right here, and my friend said, I saw who did it. It was a player with bacon hair. But my friend shouldn't be saying that, especially because I'm sure that player already knows it was my friend who did it, and that's obvious. He said, okay, I'll be careful with him, but I don't know if he's being serious or if he's joking. But it looks like a player is coming over here, and he has bacon hair, and that player noticed it, and now he's going after him, and even that player got scared and just ran away from here because he's chasing him for no reason. But this is really weird. My friend just made a random player get chased in Roblox by our neighbor, so I'm going to have to save him quickly. Now my friend is here, and I'm coming after them, but there's a problem. I don't know which way they went. Actually, they're coming right here, and I'm going to have to save the bacon. He's going to have to get in my car, and he finally made it, but now he fell on the ground. So this is the end of bacon. He said, I didn't do anything, leave me alone. But he's looking over here, and now he finally got in my car. So I'm going to get out of here fast to save bacon. But that player is coming, and he's coming on foot, which is really weird. And he really doesn't give up. But I'm going to have to help bacon escape from this place quickly. And the only way he can get out of here is by using this drone. And now it looks like he's flying away. He said, thanks for the help. And now he flew out of here. And guys, he was really smart. But that player just got here too. And he's also flying. And he's coming to catch bacon, who's also flying in Roblox. And all of this was really weird. And it was all my friend's fault because he's the one who blamed Bacon. He said, add a Bugatti to your game. Actually, all the cars I want to add, I want them to have the same speed, or at least a similar speed, so the race works perfectly. So I'm going to leave this car here, and I also just got this Camaro, which I'll leave right here. And now I just grab this car, which I'll place exactly in this location, and I'll also leave it in the parking lot. But now, I don't know what the last car I'm going to add to my game will be. And I really have no idea. But my friend just got here, and he said, add a GTR. But guys, Brookhaven already has the GTR, which is that blue car on the right. So he's going to have to choose another car. He said, then add a turbo car? Okay, that's going to be very different and also really interesting. We have these two cars here, and they're really impressive, but this one has a jet, and this car looks really fast. So I'm going to drive it, and I want to see its top speed. But this car is really slow, so I'm going to test its maximum speed. But actually, it's really fast, and it's one of the fastest cars I've ever seen in the game. I'm sure I'm going to win if I race with this car. I'm testing its top speed here, and it's really fast. So this car is going to be mine, and I'm going to place it right here because I'm sure players won't pick this one. And now I'm testing this car because I want to see if it's fast, and it's actually really interesting. It's one of the fastest cars of all, but there's a lot of light coming out of it, and I really don't know why. And it does some really weird drifting, and it's one of the best cars I've ever seen because the inside of it is really beautiful. My friend said, leave it in the game, it'll be good. And now I'm going to join your game. But guys, it looks like he left the game, and I'm going to have to join my game to test all of this. But now, I'm finally in my game, but I forgot something really important. I didn't place a car at the start to take me to that building. And I'm sure my friend is going to be shocked as soon as he sees what's in my game. But he's looking here, and he's really impressed. He said, wow, this is huge. And what he said is true. These builds are giant, and they're kind of scary. But now I'm going to fly, since I'm the admin of the game. After all, I made this game. And now I'm going to pick a car that I didn't drive before. Exactly this one right here. But my friend is going to have to get in here, and now I want to see if I can drive this. But I'm having trouble, and I can't drive this car properly, and this car unfortunately doesn't work. So I'm going to have to grab this one, and my friend just got the Camaro. And guys, I'm sure he's really happy, so much that he's coming up front and wants to jump this ramp, and I even want to see if he's going to make it. So he's coming here, and he just jumped it and ended up crashing, and his car is completely broken. So I also want to jump that. Now I'm opening all my doors, and I teleported my friend here so he can get in my car. And now I'm going to have to speed up here in front, and I'm going to have to jump this ramp to see if my car will go really far. And my friend said, this car is really fast. And that's true. This is one of the fastest cars of all, but it's not the fastest car because there's another one here that's even faster. But now I'm opening up my whole car, and it's really beautiful, but I'm going to close all of it because I want to fly. So I'm coming right here, and it actually worked, and my car finally went back to normal. But now I'm speeding up here in front, and I'm going to have to do something impossible. I want to jump this ramp and basically land exactly at this location, which I'm sure is going to be really hard, but I'm going to try. But now I'm trying to get there, but I can't climb up. Perfect, I finally made it, but suddenly my car just got stuck here, and I don't know how that happened, and I won't be able to jump that ramp to get into the race anymore. Unfortunately, it didn't work, but my friend is going to drive this car, and meanwhile I'm going to pick the worst car of all. But actually, it's the best, because they don't know the power of this car. He said, this is the worst car of all. Look, actually it's not. But my friend is going to start before me, because my car is super fast. And meanwhile he's coming up front, and he's going as fast as he can. And now I'm coming up front running, but I just hit an invisible wall. And unfortunately, I couldn't show the power of this car. So I'm getting out of here to test the top speed of this car, and it's really fast. It's so fast that I went flying. And guys, if you want to add me on Roblox, just click the become a member button, and I'll add you on Roblox.